he just goes, right? But I want to get your thoughts on this, Riv. We talk about a player who popped off for F4Q against G2, and that was Esperanza. Are you expecting a similar performance?
I think they're going to need it. Esperanza, Bunny, they all popped off with their first bloods too, kind of first deaths. That first death started to rack up towards the end, but seeing F4Q be able to get those first bloods, opening shots, you heard them say, 5K was talking about how they viewed teams, and then, oh, we're already starting right here. I don't even have a chance
They're already
to describe how awesome they are. They'll show you.
I mean, the gravity wall was there. You saw the satchel charge right off the bat, and the flash followed. They were just able to completely overwhelm Dapper right off the bat. Talk about kicking off this series with a bang. That's exactly what F4Q do. Now they've gotten on the site. They have the spike down as well. And you've got some presence, but F4Q are just hunkered in sight so well. Esperanza's already been cleaned up. Excellent counter.
Great wall, great wall.
A tap. Tens gets it. Tap. I don't know that they're going to be able to get through. Afina's going to good one, but Tens is just going to stick it. They steal the round away. They get the defuse, and Tens gets 4.
What a spicy round. 3v3, full defuse up. Maybe it was 4v3, but still that instant wall. And Sentinels using F4Q's wall that prepped them into the site so nobody could get behind enemy lines there. And here's Sentinels once again retaking fast wall there coming up.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head, Riv. That wall, the ability to counter and counter their initial aggression, deny so much space. You saw the guy was just stuck there with trying to pick his way through that thing with an ice pick. It just takes forever in pistol rounds. It just bought Sentinels enough time. Now they're going to be upgraded on weapons. F4Q not going to be nearly as fortunate, but we'll see how they feel things out on the attack, as they're already facing a slower.
Moving up towards mid here. Tens wants to get in early. Get those Althorps up, start to control the game. If he can get Empress, his Sick takes a big shot. He will have to heal. There's Ghosts and Sheriffs. Possibility for F4Q to keep these longer shots and come out with a few head dicks. Oh, yeah, over and over.
A little rinse, a little repeat. A great Lear there, and Shazam was able to peek off of that to clean up Athena. So now that's one weapon off the board for F4Q. Make that 2 as 5K is going to follow shortly thereafter.
Covering all their bases right now, making sure they're kind of just stuck in the middle of the map so they themselves aren't split. They can all rotate together if F4Q does decide to peel off and just crash on one site. But right now, it is all mid, and that's Bunny taking down Shazam. A possible gun to be grabbed here and bolster the forces of F4Q, but it is only the one and lonely Zunda.
Whoa, Sick was the last player mid, and he gets cleaned up. Nice shots out of Zumba to take care of that. You're going to see Tens pushing back towards middle, make sure that there's nobody working their way in through ropes.
This is very possible.
Zoms is wrapping his way around as well, and you're right, Zumba has a weapon upgrade, but slightly possible, I suppose. I hesitate to say very possible, though.
Gonna get that plant. They may allow it to happen and just crush him after that. He'll do it within his own smoke. Zom's looking away. He knows where it is now.
Oh, he saw him. Yep, cleaned up. I mean, for Zumba there, you go for it, right? Yeah. If nothing else, you get the money off of getting the plant. You're able to carry that into the next round. That's great. And honestly, for Sentinels, Tens is going to get the defuse to get the Empress online, but that was costly. That was not free. That was not easy.
They're pushing back, right? With how sure and confident Bunny and the team rushed into B, they said, well, we're going to snuff that out. Let's get to mid. Tens loves to just go right off the rip and start to get frags. They continued to, like you said, rinse and repeat in mid, and they did finally get him that Empress, which can turn on now for the first gun round, thwarting what F4Q might bring. And look at this Judge in the hands of Bunny. He's ready to go down the satchel trail.
Vintage Bunny. We'll see where he's set up. I don't know that he's got anything early going on quite yet. Oh, here he goes. And it's a little bit of what we saw, right? The flash, the gravity well, just like what we saw in round 1 and Sick. In the first round, it was Dapper. This round, it was Sick, who tastes a little bit of that Bunny action.
Oh, I cannot wait for all of the rounds. Let's go to 3 on this. It's already started off very fiery. And I don't think F4Q is going to stop that momentum at all. Sentinels have lost 1, as well as F4Q here in our 3rd round. This is the bonus for Sentinels as they continue to control this zipline area. They've had a lot of focus on this just for the first 3 rounds, because losing that kind of just separates the map enough to not know which site to take. They don't want to be in that position.
Yeah, Riv, I think the thing I want to keep an eye on here is you see F4Q work their way into ropes. The spike isn't there yet, so they may just be pushing off. whatever presence was there, Shazam's just able to stuff Esperanza. The spike hasn't gotten any closer. You see them going to rotate back towards B Heaven. And there is some presence from Sentinels there. You've got Tens, who's playing up top. You've also got Dapper close by, just on the other side of the smoke. Nice shots from 5K. Now Tens understands there's pressure coming his way. Empress comes online. He spots 5K, cleans him up. The dismiss, hello, right around the corner. Has to back up, gets away with his life.
And look at how patient Sentinels is on this. They did hear someone over at A. It was Athena that made sound. That's why they've been waiting, but now they start to lean towards the backside so they can get an easy rotation around the map.
10 seconds left.
This is going to be a tight one. Once again, they bring it down to the wire. Push in. Athena saves him. Tens goes down.
Excellent cross from Athena there. You're right, to cover Zumba, to give him space to get the spike down. To leave things in a 2v2, you see Shazam creeping his way forward. The turret's going to tag him up, or at least contact, let him know exactly where he's coming in from, while Zams is going to be working his way around through defender spawn as well. Make it a spot onto Zumba. The timing's there. He tags him up. Oh, the bullets are traded right back. Zumba just down to 57 health. Shazam cleans up Athena. Sentinels looking to bust the economy wide open here in the opening rounds of this map, but Zumba, look at it, stuff it, Zumba, the snaps, the shots, the Red Bull clutch for F4Q.
And honestly, there were things coming in on the site that made that difficult, right? We saw Athena have to push up through the smoke, gave a little worse positioning on Shazam, but it didn't matter. They were able to keep the comms up, and Athena with the aim as well, picking up the first two of his on the map, and they were big frags. We'll see it again. Oh, Bunny.
Yeah, I think...
Look at that gravity well, too.
Oh,
there's no chance.
Right. No, it's a perfect setup. What I want to keep an eye on, though, is we know that F4Q are going to do that, right? Bunny's going to dial something up. He's going to full send. They're going to get opening picks. But what do F4Q do with that, right? Like, how do they take that opening advantage and really blow the round open? Because so far, for Sentinels, they have been able to trade it out. We're hopping right into the 4th round.
Bunny feeling like the judge is going to be what has the verdict for most of these rounds, and he goes right for it again. Also being able to just kind of put that money somewhere else as you keep mounting a bit of cash, only having to buy that. And his util has really only been blast back usage for now. They are setting up towards the A side. You can see the double Astra Stars ready for an entrance to slow them down. Shazam will get first look, and he will get first death.
Blades from offline. There's a whole lot of F4Q headed their way. The gravity well is not going to deny Athena that action as the Cosmic Divide comes out as well, but F4Q just continue to march on.
Absolute brute force here by F4Q. They know they have power in numbers. They throw themselves through the site. Cosmic Divide's going to slow things down here for the retake, as Esperanza wants to make sure they have every angle of this A site before Sentinels tries to get in.
Yeah, and I mean, even look at Zumba, right? Like, Zumba's so far back out, waiting to see where the flank is coming in from as Dapper drops Tens. And you don't have a whole lot to save, and you are Arena with the Sheriff. And, well, it is Tens that we're talking about here, but there's just no room to get her in, Riv. I mean, they have a decent idea of where he is. Smoke's all over the place. He can't get within sniffing distance of this thing, so we're going to be tied up into a piece.
He's going to run himself over to that spike, allow himself to go down and get some cash here. Unless he finds a weapon on the side? Yeah, he does, okay. No, he does go down. Just finds it a different way. And we're going to see what happens here in this 5th round. Great movement, great control. We saw Zunba having a round before for himself, and he is the Astra of the team, almost kind of considered the God Astra coming out of the region, right? And with his ex-Overwatch just kind of history, he's used to being able to just get in and out of abilities, know what quickly needs to be done if utility is required. And we've seen that already with Gravity Wells to assist Bunny getting into the site. The Cosmic Divides immediately to set up the right angles. It's going to be tough if that's the kind of power F4Q keeps bringing to the table.
They're going fast again. There it was one more time. The flash, the blast pack, and the gravity well just on the other side of where Bunny is going to be. You mentioned the judge one more time. This time they're investing in the Seekers as well. That's going to clear out all of Heaven, get back into defender spawn,
he hears him.
And they've got the lockdown as well. Bunny in a great spot. You've got Shazam. You see him holding down the op. Tight angle. Spike goes down. I don't think they have anything to clear out that lockdown. No, they're just going to have to give the space back up and then attempt to retake.
Sentinels, obviously they're playing this round to allow a bit of F4Q space. Sentinels on that retake game, but the amount of space and how freely F4Q is taking it is really just shutting Sentinels down here. Something's going to have to adapt in the next few rounds as they figure out how do we stop Bunny, because the initiation that Bunny and the rest of the team are putting together right now, you can't be there. You can't just say, all right, let's put 2 or 3 there, because it could actually go wrong. So that Dapper picking one up here to cause a little bit of econ damage at the end of the round.
We're seeing this early oomph from F4Q just being a bit too much for Sentinels early on, and I think what's fun, in my opinion, to watch from F4Q is that it's not just the opening moments, right? Take that round, for example. They took that opening space early on off of Bunny, but they also, once they got the spike down, they pushed into defender spawn.
Yeah, they kept going.
Yeah, they had Sentinels on the western side of the map, right? Like, they pushed them so far back, they couldn't even get to the 50-yard line.
All right, let's take stock of what is going on. It is just 3-2. But obviously these last few rounds have looked very clean for F4Q, and that's where our descriptions are coming from. Sentinels right back on the operator play. Bunny right back on the satchel trail, and this time he's got Phantom to keep the plays going and hold hard angles. See if that operator comes into play. It's kind of stuck up here in heaven, but it's going to make the shot. It's going to count. Esperanza goes down.
There it is. A little bit of presence as they make their way into ropes. Pull right back out the spike. No further for Sentinels. Right, you've got a good bit of info. You just saw Dapper pop into his camera, make sure there's nobody working in through B garage, and then you've also got heavy presence towards A, right? As far as personnel goes, you've got the Astra Star set up to ensure if there is contact, they're able to gravity well and then trade off of that. The one area that's left a bit exposed, right, is mid, and there you go. You've got Shazam with the op up top in this cheeky corner. Flash pushes him off, though.
And F4Q is doing all of this without the spike, still reading the map. Their intention to say, how are you going to react, Sentinels? We're not even making a decision yet. That's going to be a bit of the util for Cypher down. They have to play that a little safer now from Sentinel's side, and F4Q again starts to take space in heaven.
Now this is a look we have seen from F4Q a couple of rounds now, right? Where they get in through mid, they make some noise over A, and then they pull back and go towards B. Great shots from Dapper there. That's actually a really big deal. Zumba just down to 10 health. Certainly denies some of that push. Shazam's Ops able to take care of Bunny, but not able to take care of Athena. 2v2. Both members of Sentinels are healthy. The spike finally making its way onto the side. Sick. Oh, the turret's gonna get a spot away, but he lands the shots anyway. That's gonna leave 5K. In a brutal spot, Zoms comes around, never saw him coming, cleans it up, so we're tied up a 3-piece Rift.
Back and forth. F4Q has an idea of how to get through. We were looking for the Sentinels adapt. They go back to a bit of their retake game, and it does come down to just the aim on the angles. Everybody's utility basically out at the end of the round there, so it all comes down to the mouse movement. And here, this has been a spot where they have seen Bunny coming each time, and almost every time. Is Shazam still going to stand there, take the op shot, feel like he can hit it? So already saying if we shut Bunny down, we can shut down quite a bit more.
Right. Right, well, and then even you saw Bunny with the slight adaptation there, right? Previously, he goes all the way into male. This time, he gets all the way just back into middle. But you feel that pressure. Once you hear that audio cue, you know that that's where that's been coming previously. Good chance it hits there again. As we enter a technical pause, we'll get you all back into the action as soon as possible. But I know we've talked about Bunny a lot, and as you've seen the opening rounds, it's for good reason, but you've got to keep it in his spin.
Doms is very proficient on it. And coming to round 7 now, looks like it's going to be a little love for A. Bunny's getting ready with the ult.
There we go. Whee! Last pack, the showstopper. We called it a different angle on the flash. He's not able to pull him out of the sky. Now Bunny's the one who's caught up. Zoms punishes him. 2 huge kills coming out of Zoms at the entry onto the site. The thing about F4Q is they have 1 speed, and that's go. And so far, they've been able to fight back, take the site back, as it's a 3v2 in favor of F4Q.
Guardian there for Tense. He's trying to get shots from the back. It's picked up by Athena. And now the 2v1.
Spike hasn't been planted yet. Shazam, fully healthy, right? Has armor, has health. The spike goes down. But is he in a tough spot here? No, Ob doesn't. I don't know that he's seen it. No, he hasn't seen it, but he's going to be able to isolate the fights. But so was 5K, and he wins that duel. F4Q take the lead.
I don't know if I've ever seen a team consistently play this fast. To say we will always take the pressure opening shot, right? You're flying around the corner. Your team's, Bunny's flying around the corner, I should say. Your team's coming out through smokes, and you're all trying to get the first peek. You are testing your opponent to the max. And honestly, Sentinels got out of the way. They positioned differently in that one. But again, it seems like F4Q is just smothering these spike sites and not allowing any of the retaliation that we see from the Sentinels retake usually.
Pistols here for Sentinels.
Instantly clearing close.
Yeah, and not nearly as, there it is, slightly delayed. This time Bunny gets caught.
It's just closing the door.
In the gravity well. The slow orb slows him down as well. You hear the Seekers have come out. Zombs! That's actually Bunny's classic that wins that. Crispy shot. So 10's good for 2. He's going to get up. Shazam's doing a bit of his own. As through all of the opening chaos, Sentinels somehow walk away with the numbers advantage. I mean, Sick also has his res. There it is. Going to bring 10s online. Numbers even more heavily in favor of Sentinels here, but what they don't have is the gun advantage, right? You're still looking at 2 rifles going into 3 pistols. Now make that 1 as Esperanza playing tight. He gets cleaned up. Or he cleans up, excuse me, gets a second. Drops it down to a 1v1, but Sick, baby, Sick! He's going to get the defuse as well. We're tied up at 4.
There it is, the back and the 4th, round for round. You love to see it, and those were some damn good shots from the Sheriffs. Again, F4Q going in hard. Sick threw up the wall. Smokes went up from Zombs. They tried to close the door immediately, so at least it stops 1 or 2 members of F4Q coming through, and it seems like those did give the angles to the Sheriffs required by Sentinels here. Sick with the second one of the round for himself.
8-4. Let's get it.
And a quick kiss.
Hey.
That was for you.
Close though, but again, man, like Knife's Edge, super close round at the end there. Easily could have gone either way, and I think because of that, as those rounds play out, you'll feel some of that in economy. F4Q opting to take a timeout here.
Yep.
Then you throw the brakes on it, right on the spot, and that's difficult to deal with.
Yeah. It's also really hard to ever create a flank on a team that plays like this. Like, you'll be big flank in the end, which is like A ramp if you're going into A, but that long flank is almost never in play because everybody's positioned in sight, and here we go again. Oh, my word. Bunny comes up with a judge onto Zombs.
And they've got the Cosmic Divide as well, so Operator from Shazam is just not able to provide any value, at least in the opening moments of that round. Keep an eye on Zumba, though. Zumba's on a flank. They've got the lockdown that has been used. Buy some space. Oh, Zumba. Zumba's coming up from behind him, and I don't think they know he's there. How much information is he going to be able to get? They continue to back away, so he's not going to get any of those kills early on, but now he's taking that space away that they had, but he gets nothing! Bunny is able to clean up Dapper, however. They're pinched in heaven, right? Like, they have an excellent crossfire set up on top ramps. Ten's dropping his way down. Stays alive somehow. 36 health. Shazam lands a shot as well. The flash is there. It's beautiful. As Sentinels seem to be flipping this round, it's going to fall onto 5K, but Shazam's up stops it. Is he going to be able to get the defuse? I don't know that he is.
A second late on that, even on the fast retake, 5-4 as F4Q comes up with another round, but a very, very expensive round at that, even in their favor. Everyone across the board fragging, as you can see, the KDAs, the participation is there team wide as we are on the first map of this series, if you can believe it. And again, Bunny just delivering presence everywhere with the blast packs and the judge, and you just can't stop this guy.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do? Right, like, you say you can't stop the guy. What do you do?
I really don't know. Because as soon as he comes around the corner, he's still hopping around. He's still jumping. Even here with the Phantom, quickly taking out Cypher utility, and just pings Dapper. As the classic bullets come through, he immediately gets them. Shazam answers.
Shazam is one of 2 remaining members on the side of Sentinels that have upgraded weapon. Tens and Zombs both have Sheriff. F4Q have gotten onto the site. Tens and Shazam playing a little high-low, but High gets taken out. Tens trading it out, though. He's going to heal back up. Spike goes down, upgrading a weapon. And that op has been handed over to Zombs. F4Q down in numbers here, but they do have position. Cosmic Divide is going to come out. F4Q swings out. That's probably the best retake we've seen from them up until this point.
And it was smartly played, too. As soon as we saw Tens actually grab a weapon, Sick changed his mind, ran all the way back around, so they'd still have that height if anybody were ever to try to get the flank in as well. Really smartly played, like you said, one of the best ones we've seen here on this one, and that's their bread and butter. Sentinels being able to just read what's happening on the site take and dismantle you as you try to set up that defensive garrison. 5-5. We thought it would be a 6-6, and it's coming true. F4Q to look towards B on this one. It looks like mid here for Bunny. And he's just going to have the Sheriff. No blast packs this round. So very telling. Going to be a little slower. We'll see how F4Q plays this.
Well, Riv, you be careful now with what you say. You presume he's not going to do it, but again, Bunny's just, that's just kind of the way the guy's built, right? He does have that showstopper, but you're right. For now, F4Q slowly working their way up across the middle of the map. You've got Shazam once again in a cheeky spot with the op, and he dashes away. He's able to get away. They drop the Cloud Burst, give him a little bit more room to work with. As TenZ is playing a tight angle.
Going back out for a peek. And honestly, F4Q played it very similar to their previous rounds as well. Zunba, more of the bunny this round, jumped through his own smoke with that shorty. They're still trying to get these frags up and close. Very personal in this situation here. And TenZ knows, save round, I'm not going to be close to a shotgun.
Nope, no shot. Who knows what's inside that smoke? We know that it's actually Zumba, but TenZ wisely taking a step back, not willing to put that up to chance. So you see F4Q here have dropped an alarm bot into the entrance towards ropes, right? So if they do go A, that flank is going to be given away. You've also got Efina who's playing close by, make sure it doesn't get canceled out, but they are going to lean over towards B6, able to land one shot. Shazam with the op is there, but the gravity wall's great. The gravity wall's wonderful. Shazam's able to get one. TenZ gets one as well. It's just the shorty that you mentioned remaining in the round here for F4Q. Zumba still trying to play this tight angle, but hate to break it to you, buddy. Sentinels know exactly where you are.
Oh! Goes for the Oni, gets Oni'd. He's down. Prime Gaming Flawless coming out there from Sentinels. They are still for sure, or confident about themselves, I should say, on the ecos. They moved smart, they played it. And you know what? They knew that the still around F4Q could really surprise on. They backed up a little bit. There's respect being given here by both teams, and we're having a hell of a match right now for just our first map. Great coverage on everything they need. It's just dead to rights. Kind of looked like he gave up at that point. Sometimes you're hoping that first shot hits, and they miss. Not the case this time.
He's going to go fast again. It's the last round of the half. No reason not to keep the showstopper. Yep, so he's got it in his pocket. But this is what I was talking about. Rave, you hit fast so quickly every single round, then you throw the brakes on it. And, like, Sentinels, what do you do with this? Here we go. It's going to be a bit more delayed, but the play is going to be the same. The showstopper's in his face. Dapper gets cleaned up. Sick up top. He's going to drop down as well as F4Q have gotten onto the site. They're huddled up. The flash was there, but the swing was just a tad early. As Bunny gets punished for it, the res is going to come out to bring him back online. Sentinels have been pushed off the site. They have to retake this as the spike goes down.
So interesting. This is the second time Sick has placed this wall, but it creates a funnel on the right side. It was further forward before, now it's a little further back as they give themselves the angles they want to work with inside of Sentinels.
Shazam has the Blade Storm. Sick has the res as well. There goes that Blade Storm. Esperanza playing tight at 3v3. The res comes out. Zumba, the swing! Oh, the Leer was there! The Leer was great! Just barely keeping people alive. TenZ drops, but so does Efina. Riv, you called it. You called for a 6-6, and oh, baby, that's exactly what we got.
Stats don't lie on this one. A 70% attack win rate for F4Q, a 70% defense win rate for Sentinels, and they just clash in our first half.
Such a good half. Such a good half. Folks, we're going to throw it over to Bala. There's so much to talk about here. I'm sorry, I said 6-6. It's actually 7-5. I got fired up. We're going to throw it over to Bala to break down what he saw in the first half. Bala, take it away. Thank you so much, Bala. Yeah, there is a lot that we can talk about with how F4Q like to play things out, but as you mentioned, or as Bala mentioned, Riv, the adaptations that Sentinels have made got them to this point, right? Because early on, there's like, where do we defend? Like, where is that punch going to come in from? Now we see Sentinels on the attack half. We'll see what they can dial up.
I'm expecting Bunny to still go forward here. Is he in mid yet? No. He's playing in the backside, actually. They're playing behind quite a bit of utility. Zunba's going to work through a star himself for the gravity well prep behind. And it looks like they will leave Efina to his own devices there on A. Hold it down. Slow to start. Much different here in our second half.
Very different indeed. So you've got a couple of Astra Stars that are actually just being countered, as I say that, out of the hands of Zumba. Again, you talk about a Sage Wall in a pistol. It just takes forever to get through that thing. They knife through it, preserve ammo, and it doesn't hit very hard anyway. As now they begin to work towards the middle of the map, you've got a brutal crossfire setup, and it almost looks like for Sentinels, they're thinking about it. You see Sick is going to creep his way forward, but he's got to check the 50. I don't know that he's going to check the 50. No, he just waltzes right in, falls into their trap. Zumba cleans up Sick.
Looks like they're going to be working towards that A side. Nobody's on A. They're all going to be coming out of Heaven, so it might be a little attack on the back. No, they make noise immediately in Heaven. See what they can pull out of either one of the entries into that Heaven area, and it looks like they are just going to go in full for A. They have to act now because it's going to be a big flank from F4Q.
Oh, the flash is great! But Shazam's able to clean up F4Q. Afina's still trying to hold down the site backside, and so far he's gotten away with it. Shazam catches him on the side, but the spike goes down. Now Shazam's the one who's anchoring backside. You've also got Zoms who's playing close by, but they haven't gotten the spike down. They have only 12 seconds left. It shouldn't be a problem.
10 seconds
they
left.
might know where Zoms is. Yeah, they know where Zoms is. He's going to get caught. Shazam's alone in a 1v4. Or 1v3, excuse me. He's got 42 health to work with. As, again, trying to hold down backside. He's going to drop. F4Q win the pistol.
A great round for them. It keeps it a lot tighter as well within the rounds. It won't matter as much if Sentinels were to get a few. They can keep that eco close. So let's see how this one plays out for F4Q. Do they feel like they can kind of tack on a little bit of power here towards Sentinels and push them back even more? Make Sentinels feel like the map is not theirs, even on that attack side. We'll see how this round goes. Afina up there on top, fragging out quite well for the team throughout this series. And we were wondering if it would be Bunny or, you know, who was that? Zunba up on top of Esperanza. So having more fraggers for F4Q means the team is vibing real well, and we can definitely see it on their faces.
Vibes indeed immaculate, or so the kids say. Wall goes up across mid, much like we saw in the previous round. Buy some time. Pistols across the board for Sentinels here. You've got a couple of Sheriffs in tow for Shazam and Tens. Oh, and some info gathered from Shazam as well.
Ouch. Spike drop for now. Zoms being a little rat up on the wall to see if anybody peeks. Full utility here by Afina has been used on A. Pick up turret, pick up bot, but mollies are down.
Yeah, Tens was slowly creeping his way up into B from Garage, and he had gotten some space, but then Zumba was there to stuff that push, extinguish that threat. So Tens drops. No Arena antics this time around. His numbers heavily in favor of F4Q here. Map in favor of F4Q. Sentinels really haven't been able to get much as far as real estate goes in this round.
They're trying to figure if someone's on the right, pull the frag out for me. I'll take some shots. They're realizing they don't think anybody's in that mail room right now. As it gets blasted back a bit. 5K says, oh, there's some for me as he peeks out.
Oh, Shazam's able to get two. And numbers still in favor of F4Q, but Shazam, he's down to 55 health. My goodness, I thought he was going to rappel right into the crosshair. But 5K is able to clean him up. That's going to leave Sick alone here. He was able to upgrade, so he's got a Spectre in hand. Maybe he can make something happen here. But there are two members of F4Q hot on his trail. The timing's wonderful. But is he going to...
No.
I don't know. Yeah, he's not going to have enough time to get the spike down. Maybe get a kill? Maybe. No, not even that. Zumba is able to win that out. So we're tied up at 7 apiece. Pistol goes in favor of F4Q. The subsequent round does as well.
See how they come out of this play. Setting up a little bit towards B to start off on what would be their bonus. They haven't dropped the spike just yet, but that is kind of the play in the beginning. They do actually drop it there in B link to start as we watch these replays. Another slow-ish round here for F4Q, but I feel like they're a team that's ready to activate off of that first kill. Very much so. More than not. You have a lot of teams that'll get a frag, say, hey, they're rotating, let them separate, cover the positions we just killed. F4Q is all about moving forward and advancing on that area of the first frag.
Oh, sick nose. Zumba. Oh no, I thought he knew the ping was there!
What?
Now Zumba not able to get the second as Tens Vandal wins that out. He's going to be able to dismiss away, preserve his life. Whatever's left of it anyway. He only had 21 health. But he does get away with it. Shazam has taken so much space across the middle of the map.
I have the spike.
He's going to be able to give the team quite a bit of info. You can see them moving on his word right now, too.
Yeah. Dapper's up tight as well. The thing is, there's just so much utility from Fina, right? Like, you could turret, Nano Swarms, alarm bots. Look at that. It's just littered all over the place. And that's going to trigger everything. The alarm bot pops off. Both Nano Swarms instantly triggered, and that buys time. Because from that comes the Seekers, comes the rotations from F4Q. The delay from Killjoy's there, but Killjoy's not there anymore. Shazam's able to clean that up, so they get onto the site. They're able to get through the initial delay, but now reinforcements have arrived. Zoms looking to stuff it. Bunny's frenzy is got good for one, but that's all it's good for as Zoms gets the last kill and the spike plant for Sentinels.
Good bit of damage done by F4Q there on that buy round. Their bonus going through. But it does look good. Yes, the arrivals of both teams has happened, and we are watching currently Sentinels versus F4Q. If you're just joining us, first half was completely on fire from Bunny and the rest of F4Q. It was a very even first half, but a great one to watch if you're going to go back and hit the VODs. It's been a little bit of a sorting back and forth for the first few rounds. Bonus round now picked up by Sentinels as we're 8-7. Guns in the hands of both. Shazam going for the Blade Storm.
Goes up top. Nobody peeking, no one's home. And again, it seems like for F4Q, they're comfortable giving up some mid presence the last couple of rounds, right? Like previously, it was a Sage wall up, to delay, to deny. These last few rounds, they've given some of that up. You saw Shazam was able to get deep into ropes the previous round as Dapper worked his way up ramp. This time, again, Shazam gets in, while two members of Sentinels are there with him.
Sentinels have always loved the walk-up mid. Usually it's with Shazam's op, right? He's just creeping up, looking for that left peek shot, and he hits somebody here up in heaven. This time it's just going to be the Blade Storm, and he will always take this space. The comfortability of these angles he has, he'll always be the foreman, or the forefront here on this engage. A little peek, and there's the first one onto Bunny with the reset.
And it was right as the star dropped, right? Just enough eye candy for him to swing off of and land the shots. 10 goes up as well. Shazam's able to clear out the rest of heaven with that Blade Storm, and now he's dashing in. He's going in forward, but no, Zumba rips him out of the sky as Zumba was looking for a little more, but it's Sick who's able to win that out. They get into the back of the site. They should be able to get the spike down and leave Athena in a 1v3.
Athena pulls back all util, waiting for the timers to come up. Let me get a quick peek on this. He is dealing with that Cypher cam from Dapper, though, on his way in.
So I love, because of where the spike is set up, right? Like, they can play a high-low, or they can play both backside, and then you've got Zoms who's still playing in Garage. He's got the sightline for it. So this is a pretty brutal. Not only is it difficult because it's a 1v3, but because of where Sentinels are set up, there's really no easy way for Athena to even get onto the spike, right? There's so much you're going to have to work through because of how they're set up, and then you still have to get the defuse. So you see for him, he's just going to save that weapon, carry it into the next round. Excellent response from Sentinels. They're going to take a 2-round lead. Right?
And Doug, I love you pointed out, as they cleared mid, we saw Shazam look a little bit towards ropes, come back out, go towards mailroom. Zoms throws down the star, as you pointed out. Just giving something else for Bunny to look at, something to deter him, and it was a Blade Storm to his face right after that. Here it is again, just quickly a glimmer, and the hope was also there.
Tens landing a couple of clean shots with a flash in his face, Shazam as well, and they were able to, again, methodically, like, take heaven. Right? Once they had heaven control, you saw Shazam on full send. Let's go, baby. We're going. You've got
over towards A.
You got me thinking about how much money you get when you cross go in Monopoly. 200? Is it 200?
Yeah.
We'll see if F4Q, I don't presume it's going to be this round, but we'll see if F4Q do dial up some of the aggression that we saw in the first half off of Bunny again. I mean, he's got one blast pack, but that's all he's got. Meanwhile, for Sentinels,
1-for-1.
Yep, 1-for-1 trade. That's excellent here if you're F4Q.
That's 10's Empress as well, which have come up there. A little pain for Athena, but still good with a Phantom in hand now after that trade.
Taking that back, recovering it.
See Zoms pulling back the stars, and he's about to see a whole lot of problem in mid, but he's going to clean it up. Does he have another one? Is Athena, or sorry, Bunny's still there.
One enemy remaining.
Bunny's such a mad lad. He just saw him. He got tagged up, enough to make him think twice about it, and he gets the kill. Ooh, the guy's nuts.
What can he do? It's going to be tough. I'm sure they set up quite a bit. 3v1 makes it much more difficult. They also have the Cypher traps to alert them of where he's coming from right away. Don't cut yourself. Good lord.
That's dangerous.
It is dangerous. And Sentinels are going to grab another one. So now, looking at where F4Q could go with the econ here, I wonder if they decide to light util and still go for a bit of the defense with guns on hard angles. Or do they just wait out the round? Because as we say on Split, once you fall down in economy, think about how hard it is to retake the sites if you don't have utility. And a lot of times you could be buying just armor, your weapon, and your signature skill is there. So it becomes difficult. You see Bunny falling for that.
Gun here.
Gun here. And let's see where they are actually in the money is. 10-7 as we come into round 18. Where would they decide to go with this? And will it be full utility for F4Q? Something they really use to continuously push themselves through the site. So you're seeing like single molly, the no heal there. and certain things are deciding. So Guiding Light actually just got traded over. Different purchases going in here for 5K to make sure they have all the util that they do want.
How are they set up here? For Sentinels, it's
We just dropped him a Judge, no?
pretty heavy lean towards A. You're right, you got the Judge.
Bunny's ready.
In the hands of Bunny, but there's just no presence mid, right? So even if he does Tokyo drift around the corner, he's not going to spot a single soul.
Stars in Heaven again and in the ropes area coming from Zombs. This time they're full A. One of the first times they've sent people up ramp. Usually the turret is watching ramp. Now it's watching a different angle, so they know Sens is committed a bit more to how far up they are.
The alarm bot's going to be there from F4Q as well to trigger off that info, and you look at 5K. 5K's rotated over, understanding turret's gone, pressure's there, going to use the Trailblazer, and did spotted something.
Real close. I think they saw the brim of the cap there. Flash goes out. Traded. Nice job as they play behind each other and over the shoulder.
Oh, Shazam! Bunny tried going in! He gets pulled down by Shazam. Excellent shot. Sentinels have managed to take A control. You see Tens is getting onto the site. You've also got Sick, who's going to be following shortly thereafter with the spike. Tens going for the jugular. Spotted Athena back there, cleans him up. The spike goes down as it's just down to Zumba. He's got the Cosmic Divide and a Vandal, but that's really it.
I mean, if you think about it, when it comes down to fundamentals, how do you beat aggression? You up them. You up them as they wide swing, as they fly out. And Shazam taking it back to those roots right now. And now we know why he sat in the spot where the gravity well kept coming in Heaven, because he still figured he could hit that shot on Bunny. These guys are feeling it right now. Zunbo with a beautiful execution on Sick there as they're trying to hunt for blood and get this last Vandal out of his hands.
But yeah, Spike's just going to tick away, and I mean, yeah, no, Shazam's going to pull off as well. All right, so weapon's going to be saved. Really, for 4 members, Shazam's going to bring that op in as well, and for Zumba, as you mentioned, carry that Vandal into the next round. Sentinels starting to be a pretty cozy lead, and I think this op shot, again, you see Bunny, he had turned that corner, he was at the peak of his blast, boom, boom, good night.
Whoops. Kind of hit his brim on the door jam there. It's unfortunate.
Brutal headache off of that.
It happens. It's better than anything we'll ever do. And moving towards A. So they drop the spike for now again. Sentinel's going to feel out this round, see how F4Q wants to play it.
So they move some money around. They've got a Guardian in the hands of Esperanza, and you've got Bunny once again with the Judge and the Showstopper. For Sentinels, heavy lean towards A. The spike is actually over towards B, though, and you've got Sick, who's making sure there's no aggression coming in from Garage.
Let's see, so how do F4Q stop Sentinels? They haven't been biting too much on rotations. F4Q playing really well, and how many players need to be in a certain spot. They're still leaving Zumba over towards B if the rotation happens, and they are correct to. It's going to be up to opening shots here, and whatever utility becomes used now. The positioning is great for both teams as they set up. It looks like it will finalize as an A execute. We just had Sick pick up the spike.
Wait, but the wall also went up on B from Sick, right? To like draw rotates, right? To give off the suggestion.
Man, did they.
Yep, and that exactly worked. Again, as you said, Riv, they're pulling back. Sentinels are towards A. But there's a lot of KJ utility. Again, the nice thing is they have Heaven control here. They've managed to get onto the site. Is the Killjoy utility going to be enough, though?
I like the last thought by Athena. He said, you know, it's too quiet. I'm getting out of sight right now. Very good choice to keep himself alive and allow further pressure on the retake. Dapper in a great position here, but it could be a one and done. How far can he go with this?
Oh, he's about to have his hands full. The flash, the turn. Oh, they don't swing! But Dapper's able to get one. Gets traded out. The res is going to come out as well. So numbers back in favor of F4Q as the spike continues to tick away. You've got Shazam holding down Heaven. He's got the op. The Empress comes online. As the lockdown's going to follow as well. And I don't know that they have really anything to clear that out. So they're going to have to give that space up. What do F4Q do with it?
Shazam in a perfect spot. Hopefully he didn't miss the timing. He feels like he didn't. Stays up. A great Cosmic Divide to stop the operator from coming in. Esperanza to start off the retake.
Ten's dead. There's the Showstopper. Oh my gosh! He touched him! They touched! But 5K and Athena are able to get the kills. It's now Shazam alone in a 1v4. He's got the op. The Cosmic Divide, you talked about how beautiful it was. I mean, just causes so many problems there for Sentinels.
Kind of got to see a replay on that because at some point you have to realize that's not the wall yet, right? Still, in the moment, you're not going to think I'm running into a player. That's just absurd, but that's exactly what was happening. Wow. The things that are happening in this series, absolutely awesome to see. And that was the end. So the weapon would have come through the first time, but right behind her back. So
tickling the ear a little bit.
Little Willy there. All right, here we are, round 20, 11-8. Sentinels looking to push the game point here.
And look at how Athena have swapped where his utility is, right? There was so much heavy presence towards B, or A, excuse me. Now he's setting up towards B. That's exactly where Sentinels are pushing into. The Lear's there, the wall goes up, but the Nano Swarm gonna buy time. Athena again trying to anchor onto the site. Tenz has gotten in, but that's it. And that might be all that Sentinels need. Tenz is able to take care of Athena. Bunny comes from up top and drops the hammer on Tenz. Bunny's able to get a second one with the Vandal as well. The presence that they had on B, the space that they were able to take away is all gone.
One-man retake. That is absurd. Bunny literally pulling out all the stops in situations where Sentinels took that site like first round F4Q, a first half, and it's been thwarted. Let's see how they retake on this. It's a bit of a reset as Shazam is looking for shots as he has backup from Zoms just underneath.
Dapper's in a real cheeky spot here on the opposite side of the map.
Yeah.
And you can feel 5K sniffing it out. Great shots from Dapper to clean that up. So now you feel pressure everywhere, right? Like there's pressure on both sides of the map. The Neural Theft is going to come out as well. You see the spike is already starting to rotate over, but Shazam's going to stay, grab that info. Now he's the one who's going to be the rat trying to lurk around. Dapper's going hunting. He's got two members of F4Q who are starting to pull over. He's going to drop back. They're still the last member on the site.
It's great that Dapper even showed himself to the two rotating over, pausing their rotation, finds the shot in sight. He didn't even want more than to just fire the Phantom at Bunny and Esperanza. That was great on the retake. F4Q trying to come in strong. That is game point looking at on the side of Sentinels. Or match point, I should say. Game point comes in the series, but what a round here. It did come down to Sentinels going back to a bit of slow play, finding a way through the defenses of their opposing team, and then hitting their mark as soon as they needed to execute.
Cosmic Divide in tow for Sentinels here in the hands of Zoms. They've won 5 of the last 6 rounds. They've gotten their footing here, as you mentioned, working the matter to map point. You see some heavy aggression coming out from F4Q towards A early on. Tenz says, no sir, not today. Zimba's out.
Haven't really gotten too much action all over A ramp this map at all. This is the first time it will be picked up by Sentinels as F4Q try to change up the strategy just a little bit.
You've got Punny. Punny playing the tight angle. What a flick from Shazam, man!
Tenz maybe knowing that a few are in sight, but he just decides to back off for now, realizing they've taken down 2 members of F4Q. You don't have to commit to anything at this point, and power and numbers become so much stronger. They're going to throw at least 3, maybe 4 straight into that site if Shazam decides to come with them.
Gravity Well, the Nanoswarm delays, right? Like the Gravity Well is there, it messed up Athena, but the Nanoswarm buys them time. Athena swings out, he's able to get 1. Esperanza's able to get 2! Esperanza gets 3! They stopped the push, the Cosmic Divide was there. First it was Athena, but then it was Esperanza. We talked about him needing to step up for F4Q, for them to have a chance, line him up and knock him down. That's all it took, but Shazam, the leader for Sentinels, looking to make a play happen in a 1v2. He's got the spike. No util. Light armor. Quietly.
Oh my god.
Around. He's good for it. Onto 1. Shazam, he's going to get the chance against 5K. He's got to get the spike down the tap. 10 seconds left. 5K's going to give up that space. Holding. Shazam's going hunting, but 5K stops it!
5K with the patience, with the pressure, and he pulls out the headshot. In the mind of Shaz there. Shaz goes for the double plant, wanting 5K to push forward, but just icing both of their veins, more so for 5K at the end. This, Esperanza really turning the round around and allowing this situation to be possible where they put Tenz in such a tight spot. I'm sorry, Shazam in such a tight spot.
Like a fucking bitch.
Nice. Now for Sentinels here. Oh, so they do still have excellent weaponry. Members of F4Q do as well. They've got the Judge. And you see Bunny. Tenz pushing that back, though. Yep. That early peak, right? Like, Tenz are just going to be able to push their way in. The wall goes up as well. The alarm bot went off, but it got popped instantly. Shazam's able to take care of Esperanza as well. They have Heaven control. They're working their way into sight. They have Elbow, but Afina's in a brutal spot, but he can make some magic happen. Afina's already good for 2, not able to get the 3rd. Sick was there, and now 5K looking to see if he can test his metal on the same spot. Sick stuffs that. Zumba's alone, and he's on the opposite side of the map. The res is going to come out as well to add insult to injury as Sentinels with 4 strong get the spike down on A, and that's all it takes. A 13-9 win.
5 months of things, and that's where my stats are from. There's a lot of dashes, the not availables. But that doesn't mean they don't know how to play long angles. That doesn't mean they won't be able to get those long shots down, because that's what Breeze can come down to. If you prevent the team from getting close, from using the hallway, it becomes whoever has that first aim cross map.
Well, and look, that's where you see some of that already. 4 ghosts. I mean, ghosts really all over the place.
Yeah. You want the range.
Yep. So I think what we're going to see here out of both attacking teams is this fight for elbow control. The defending team cannot give that space up for free, right? Sentinels have already taken so much of that away. Zumba's in a spot where he's across the middle of the map. A decent little crossfire with Bunny. Forget the crossfire, dude. Zumba just snaps.
Yeah, mid-map pistol round is definitely a hot spot. You want to be able to come up elbow if you're the attacking side. It's pretty free space to be had, and now Sentinels starts to encroach into the B site.
We didn't get a Viper on split. We get 2 on Breeze as Bunny's jet.
Oh my god,
Makes
everybody's
something happen. Yeah, 10's able to get 3 already in this pistol. Getting dangerously close. Bunny, 61 health. The Viper's doing a little bit of extra damage there to make sure that there were no shenanigans. 10's gets 4. Sentinels win the pistol.
3 frags down in mid for Sentinels. They pick up quite a few on that first pickup, that first peek. And let's see what they can do. Moving into B was fast. It seems like the chaos was not something F4Q was expecting. And everybody made their way to that backside of B instantly to set up the defense. Here we go in the second round. It looks like not too much is being picked up on the side of Sentinels, so they can keep as much money as possible.
Oh, the one thing that's interesting is Bunny is taking the Marshall here early on. And again, we talked about the long angles. We talked about how important it is to be able to hit a bit. But you're Riv, I think you make a really good point in pointing out that all of them have heavy armor on the side of Sentinels.
It's going to be tough for Bunny to make that stick. He's hoping to be able to chop through a few at least so the team can do even more work.
Elbow again.
Elbow almost all the time. It's free space in mid, especially when you know you can get close to what might be these pistols you're fighting against. Your Spectre, your Ghost with armor is going to be more impactful, and they want mid. They think they're going to get peeks out of F4K. Or F4Q, and it's right.
Flash, Sick trying to get out, trying to run for the fences, but he turns around, sticks the matter back in their faces, able to get a couple of kills. F4Q just really kind of being bullied around here in this round. And Riv, you know, we talked about elbow, we talked about mid. I think if regardless of who you are, right? If there's one team that you cannot give free space to, Sentinels. If you continue to allow them to take elbow, allow them to take mid-map control, allow them to work in the nest if they want to, or double door, wrap around back towards A, they're gonna abuse that.
It's a lot faster for Shazam in those situations to start reading what the defense is doing, how the defense is moving. It only means a little bit in the first few rounds because it's always going to be different moves once they have rifles. So here you definitely bet Shazam is going to be taking note of what's going on. I mean, as well as 5K on the other side with those first few rounds of Sentinels just kind of camping out in mid. Paid off.
Shazam has Blade Storm, rocking the Marshall. Excuse me, Tens is. Shazam's got a Bulldog. Zoms has a Marshall as well. So a bit of a mixed buy, right? Dapper, the only one rocking a traditional rifle. Sentinels full attention over towards A. The flash is there, but there's going to be a good bit of KJ Util. Bunny taking care of Dapper.
Instant poison orb down on what would be the Sentinel utility for Afina in that hallway. So safe movement from Zoms to creep up. He might be able to create the flank now that 3 power through on this A main.
Tens going up top, a little peek. Make sure there's nothing there, and they turn their attention over to the rest of the site. There's we go. We talked about that. Util 10's not able to lay in the blade. Zumba cleans him up. Zom's going to get punished as well. The rifle's proving to be too much for Sentinels as F4Q come out with a prime gaming flawless.
Shaking off the first few rounds, being the bonus as well, but those were some quick headshots coming out of F4Q. Rifles or not, I think they may have had that one in their favor. And it was that flawless, as you said. Moving into A, Shazam Tens not being able to connect, but you can see how fast they actually worked to that Blade Storm in the first few rounds. Round 3 bonus, Blade Storm. Oh man, didn't bother F4Q one bit.
Then we see here for Sentinels again. Interesting buy, right? Dapper's on a Spectre, 6 on a Bulldog. And this is where we see a slightly different approach from Sentinels. They are going to work towards A, but they also have a little bit of presence towards B, towards Elbow, where Dapper looking to see if anyone's going to pop out, do anything aggressive early on.
Great long-range spam there. Tens takes a few shots as he was setting up for the operator, so great knowledge of Bunny at the end of that hallway.
Poison's off.
You can see Zombs again working the orb, so it's always the intention for Sentinels to gain a bit of the map. Here they have 2 members up that can receive audio. They can let the rest of the team know what's going on. The execute A may come through.
The door pops open. That's going to give him a sight line to work with. It instantly cleans up Zumba. Bunny, though. Bunny's still back sight. They're working their way closer and closer onto the side as Tens gets up top, trying to work an angle with that op. Again, Bunny has not been cleared out. That could be a problem. But then additionally for F4Q, the problem is you've got Dapper, who's taking his time, but he's working his way back towards A. He's got a great spot for the flank. Tens not able to land that shot. He's going to back up. Bunny takes care of Shazam as Tens backs up, but the spike does go down.
Dapper constantly finding the shadow of 5K. He sees him after the chase. Who's going to be the trade? Esperanza and 5K come up big.
All right, Tens has the op. Spike is there. Spotted just barely. Esperanza on the defuse, gets it to half. They're pushing Tens back. Bunny's Blade Storm cleans him up, and Esperanza gets the defuse as well. We're tied up at 2 apiece.
And that's going to be Bunny's operator now towards the back of the hallway. And great defense from F4Q in these first few rounds. It's Sentinels is being stopped really before they get on the site. They have not been able to get themselves moved up too far. We'll see how they get shut down on this one. Bunny, really great play after they were able to secure that hallway. And a few mishaps there. Definitely pulling this in the favor of F4Q with their aim.
Yeah, I think that flank there that Dapper was trying to work in through double doors really just kind of blew things up. That was their ace in the hole, if you will. For sure, right?
It's a good point.
But it does get taken out now for Sentinels. Heavy lean towards B. Rifles, or excuse me, for Sentinels, do not have rifles, except Zombs, who has a Bulldog, pistol, center marshal the rest of the way, while F4Q are going to bring all sorts of artillery into this round.
Again, they use the safety of Elbow to move up. That gas wall coming in from Esperanza really dividing anything that a Marshal would try to get out of this peak. I love that wall. They're really not giving a chance for these guys to come in and take any of those headshots away. Bunny, you're kind of thinking twice about peeking. He said, you know what? I don't want to do that. And the ping even coming in from Sentinels to show. So a much quieter round. The Sheriff headshots looking to be brought in here by Sentinels, but F4Q not giving them up.
Wall goes back up that you mentioned. Esperanza is going to drop the orb as well. Seeker's coming out. 48 seconds left in the round. 6 is going to get tagged. And he gets cleaned up as well. The spike drops. As Sentinels really haven't been able to find their footing. They haven't been able to get into the site. Shazam's in one heck of a gunfight right now across the middle of the map. Tens gets cleaned up. Shazam got 1. Parting gift for his troubles, but Afina is good for 2. Zombs looking to flip this thing back. He's got that Bulldog, as we mentioned, but he's looking into an op, and he's looking into 2 Phantoms. He doesn't have the spike. He's nowhere near it, and F4Q are able to squat on it. They know exactly where it is.
Oh, they have his number now. Full armor there. Let's see what he can do. Ooh, the fake flash. Nicely played there coming in from Zumba. And they finalize the kill. Afina having a great round there. Will recoup the armor back. All the utility that they need is F4Q feeling good here without having much shown on a stage or in competition on Breeze.
Yeah, I think that the Seekers that came out there from F4Q is excellent. As Sentinels were trying to get onto the site, you saw this guy got popped instantly with the spike, was trying to get the flash shot to create some space, but there was just too much util going on. Sick got cleaned up, and now he has his own Seekers that he's going to be able to bring into this round. The Viper's wall goes down towards A. That's exactly where they want to go, but you've got 5K with an op, and you've got Bunny with one as well. They're able to lock down both sides with the op.
Shazam picking up the Hunter's Fury is there. A lot of ult focus this round. One flash comes out from Sky. There's the Seekers you called, Doug, and it looks like they will give F4Q a little bit of pressure here on A. Sentinels will go for the full execute.
As you said, the Hunter's Fury and the lockdown are still there. Tens manages to get his way up towards Pyramids. Cheeky little head spot! Not able to land the shots. A bit of haircuts, make him think twice about things, but that's all it is for now. 2 Viper's walls splitting up the site. The spike continues to tick away, and you've got to keep in mind against Shazam has a shock dart and he has a Hunter's Fury. The lockdowns, both lockdowns are actually coming out. Shazam is looking to clear one out, and that's exactly what he does. Their lockdown is still safe, at least for the time being. as the spike continues to tick away.
Oh, far push in. Zumba was looking to make a play. 10's coming up big there. Gas wall goes back up.
Oh, nice shot. Nice shot out of 5K, but that's all it was. Dapper gets 2 to close up the round. Excellent use of ultimates, excellent use of utility to get onto the site, push things back, and establish the round for Sentinels.
One of my favorite things about this map, about Breeze, is that you can be presented with those rounds where it is 5v5 once the spike is down. The size of A, the size of B, the utility pushback just creates this chaotic firefight in the end with still all that utility being used. And it really tests these players to the max.
What do we got here out of F4Q? Still in a decent spot to buy. Again, Bunny has that op, and you think when they invested as much as they did, again, the double op coming out from them. This time it's been far more successful, but 10's giving him back a little bit of what they just got. You saw Viper Spit's been used right off the bat to lock down B as well, but Sentinels again, they'll take elbow, they'll take mid.
So one traded down the long hallway, one at the alt orb cave area. And the map resets a little bit here, so 10's can find an off shot.
Like this from Athena.
Sick, great rotation in.
Yeah, I like this from Athena. Look at how far in he's gotten in, so he's going to be able to get behind Sentinels, and if Sentinels don't get on their horse and get something going here, this could prove to be a problem, but they've, as we mentioned, they've taken mid. They're going to work in towards B. Zumba has to anchor the site. He's got bullets going one way, he's got op shots going another, but Zumba's got a couple bullets of his own. 10's able to clean him up. Athena on the flank, spots a player, it's 10's, it's tag, left, right, drops him right back down, the spike's down as well, and now Sentinels are not on the site, right? The only member remaining is Dapper. He wasn't there. He's still going to have to work his way onto the site. There's Bunny with an op holding this tight angle. And again, you've got Athena working mid. Dapper has to go towards Bunny.
He didn't see the tip.
30 seconds left.
Oh, he knows now. Boy, that
Gives him a chance. Yeah, he knows the classic can be the thing to get him out there with the right click. Dapper's now running back to the site, realizing he hasn't met anyone else yet. It could be clear, but it is the long-range look from Athena. They are already set up to take another round, and the lead here, 4-3, a defensive side of Breeze.
Yeah, Dapper just wasn't able to get in. And, we highlighted Athena on the flank, was able to get all the way down hall and then wrap around, was able to clean up 10's and then cause problems across the middle of the map there as well for Dapper at the end. So we have to keep an eye on that. Like, how much is F4Q willing to aggressively deny space and take space away? Right, because that can prove to be problematic. I think the thing about Breeze is it's just so dang big, that's constantly the threat.
Right, those rotation times as well. You have to consider how far you're leaning or playing. Shazam fires a dart over into mid, and they don't see anything right away. Double, triple utility used to clear out mid here, along with the Trailblazer from Sentinels. As the first few rounds they won were them garrisoning in mid, and then they allowed F4Q to peek. Here it happens again, and Bunny picks up first blood of this round.
Now this might be the first time we see Sentinels try to get into Nest. No. Sick. Creeping his way forward. You've got Tenzer as well with the Blade Storm, making sure there's no peek. And now they creep their way up. Bunny with the op again. Keep an eye on that. He's got that as Sentinels have gotten onto the site. The Blade Storm's good.
There it is.
The Raid Storm's good. As Esperanza and 5K get dropped, you've got Bunny dashing away as both of them using their mobility to stay alive. Bunny's op has to back up, but the dart did tag him. 10's looking for more. 10's gets 3.
Wow. 10's on one this round. Is he going to keep carrying it into the ace? Bunny's going to be looking for the operator, so 10's has to be fast on that one. And it looks like they may just try to save this round. So Sentinels playing with the, if you'll give us the space, we'll take the space, quietly and methodically. And then somewhat activating with pure aggression once they got to the site. You saw 10's dashing in. Shazam was right there behind the rest of the team, as well as a bit more utility from the rest of Sentinels. Looking to just finalize the last few on this as the spike ticks down, and they'll try to blood hunt Bunny and Athena here.
Oh, I think Sick just saw just a little pixel there of Athena as he was trying to jump away, but they should be able to get away with both of those weapons. So we're tied up again at 4 apiece. Sentinels have found a bit of room, right? Well, I think Sick was trying there.
That'll feel good.
Sick was trying there, but that's all it was. And I think, again, their access into B, access into the site was off of mid control, right? Like they were able to apply pressure from there, work their angles, and then you've got 10's with the Blade Storm. It just kind of cracks it open like an egg. F4Q calling a timeout.
A little back and forth here, checking the money.
I'll be feeling pretty good, right? You're again going toe-to-toe.
And I love what happens when maps do get played and other teams watch and see it on there. You're like, oh, now it's in the map pool for somebody else. Oh, it gets played a little bit more. Teams know exactly what to do, maybe, or saw some deficiencies in the way a team had played when they lost. Here, all tied up. We don't know how this one's going to go just yet. And it looks like it is going to be an A play. Operators in the mix for the side of F4Q.
No mid presence here, but holy smokes, are they working down hall. Ult Orb gets picked up. You hear the Trailblazer try to get some info. So Drone's going to do the same. So far, he's gotten out a bit further. Ten's going in aggressive. He's going to spot two. He's going to spot two. The flash is great. Sick was up on it as well. We talked about them working up halls. They find an opening. They take the space away. Bunny's in a brutal spot. He was playing on doors with the op. He gets cleaned up, and now it's on 5K. He's got the Empress, but the spike goes down. He's good for one onto Dapper. How much more is he good for? It's a second. And the Empress is online now as well. Lear comes out. He drops down. Sick! Sick stops that. The flash, the pop, the swing. They dance around the smoke, around the wall, excuse me, but that's all it is. The Sentinels take the lead.
Sentinels executing after making it into hallway and up towards the cave area was super important that they went fast. It was Bunny that went through double doors and peeked out mid along with whoever's in B, knowing that there was no push from Sentinels. Instantly, F4Q was rotating over. That's when Sentinels started getting their kills. Had they waited any longer, they would have met a wall of F4Q players. So the speed of that round for Sentinels was super important. F4Q is pretty much on the money with their calls, just didn't get there fast enough.
Time to hunt.
Sentinels here looking to work their way towards A again. Hello! Bite right to the face. And an op shot just to make sure. That's all it took. Once again, Hall has been taken by Zoms. Caves have been taken by Tens. The op is in full display here as they should be able to get onto the site.
360 opper. You gotta love it.
Down as well.
Spike planted.
Sentinels playing much quicker, Doug. After that one round, they blasted in, and we saw the 5v5 retake and sight hold. Seems like they've been enjoying the fact of pressuring F4Q with a taste of their own medicine.
You've got Zoms again on a deep flank. He's gotten all the way into defender spawn. Oh. He spotted him, so they know where he is. He's feeling some of that pressure. Great flash. Tens once again with the op. Dapper's going to swing out. But no. The classic from Zumba. Tens gets 4. Zoms gets the last. Sentinels get to 6.
Tens one away, I should say, from his ultimate again. They just keep mounting these points. 21 and 6. Holy moly, Tens.
That's pretty good, yeah.
He's on vacation at the beach right now. It's a breeze for him. Holy, like, and a lot of that aggression, I said they can move forward, is because Tens is a monster. No, because Tens is on the forefront of that push. And if you got shots coming over your shoulder like that, you are fearless to run in with your team.
All right, how do F4Q respond here? There's been a whole lot of aggression coming in from Sentinels. And they haven't been able to weather that for the last couple of rounds. You see the Seekers coming out as well. Once again, they're going to go away. You've got some presence, but the dart is there as well. Esperanza in a brutal spot. Look at how weak he is already. 28 health. They know where he is. There it is. The last final shot from Sick cleans him up. Nice little flash. Oh, it was a fake, but Zumba gives him the business anyway. Tens with the op, able to clean that up. However, as Tens goes up top, once again, the op shot. He saw Bunny go in there. Bunny dropped down. Bunny's dead.
Enemy remaining.
They're just falling all over the place, Riv. Aveen is the last one.
And there was adaptation from F4Q this round. They smattered the entrance to A main with all of that Viper utility, but it was everybody in the long hallway that was able to move up. Spike gets planted eventually at A, and we are seeing a precedent here by Sentinels, feeling like they can rush this spot. They have the long-range angles now, and they're feeling a bit more confident.
Got Afina trying to work his way around. See if you can catch him slipping just a bit, but nope. Sam just knows, man. The dart there.
Yep.
Afina has to dance around it, but he's able to avoid that. Creep his way forward a little bit, but I don't know that he's going to get a sightline on anyone. So Sentinels should be able to get to 7. Tens is going to be able to carry the op into the next round. You've got a couple of key ultimates online as well. 4 of the 5 online for Sentinels. And F4Q, they're close. They have a couple of theirs, but certainly not what Sentinels are going to be able to bring to the table.
And that could allow them to nicely secure a final
Last
round.
round before
You
the-
think Esperanza is going to fire off the Viper's Pit just almost immediately at the beginning of this one? He'll push it up into the choke point of the entrance of B. Hopefully get a little assistance there, but the rest of the map could be open. Bunny whipping out the Blade Storm here. He has dropped a weapon, I believe.
Again, just a couple of moments away from the final round of the half. We highlighted how heavily stacked the ultimates are in favor of Sentinels and F4Q. They've got some to work with as well. But we'll see how things play out. Sentinels heavy stack towards A. You've got that Viper wall already up from Zoms. No question about it. And I think there's going to be a counter. Yeah, right
so
into
it's
where
at
they're
A.
pushing. Yep.
I mean, why not? That's where they've been going. I was silly to even say it would be at B. You know this is where they're going.
You're so silly. And look at Bunny. Dude, Bunny's going for it. He's got the Blade Storm. He's already taken so much space across the middle of the map. You know they're going to try to pinch him around. Tens has his own Blade Storm online. You hear the Hunter Shear coming out from Shazam trying to clear out the space. Yeah, he's good for one on Esperanza.
That's the ult.
How long is it going to take for Bunny to get into a spot? Zoms has already been cleaned up. In a decent spot here. Okay, the turret's going to give some presence away, so now they know there's something fishy going on back there. Shazam's already backing up. Make sure that there's nothing else going on. Spike ticking.
The way they played that is ridiculous. The fact that the ult came out, and then with the lockdown, you think somebody's going to take a back pedal out of the sight. Shazam's just able to clear, dry shoot that! And he turns around and gets Bunny there. This round, good for F4Q, but Sen coming back.
Sick got for 2, Sick good for 3. The Blade Storm was there, but that's all it was needed. Tens, Sentinels across the board. They look so good on this half. They carry a 4-round lead into the next one.
Big reads on the plays that they had on where they could even be moving the members of F4Q without having to see them picking up frags. That's one way to make your opponent have a tough time at being able to recoup rounds. 8-4, a much different first half. We see here on Breeze. We did know that this is not a map F4Q has been playing for too long, and Sentinels, they're bringing it.
They are bringing it. Tens is bringing it. The rest of them are. We're going to bring it over to Bala, who's going to break down what he saw in the first half. Bala, take it away. Thank you so much, Bala. Yeah, we got to give the people what they want, right? I think we want to see a map 3. We want to see how F4Q can test their mettle and potentially get back into this thing. As we said, now F4Q are going to be on the attacking half. Exact same Viper's wall that we saw in the previous half from Sentinels, this time coming out from Esperanza.
Zumba picking up that orb as they move through. Sheriff onto Bunny. He's going to be in with the team. Looks like they're just going for the brute force here. Dapper finds Esperanza through the wall.
Yeah, great setup of utility from Killjoy early on. Afina's on the flank, though. He's able to take care of Shazam. Heavy numbers, though, in favor of Sentinels, and they're just going from bad to worse. 5K's left alone. He's got 48 health. Well, he had 48 health. He gets cleaned up. Tens gets 3, picking up right where he left off in the first half. I think he's at 26,000 kills. Right now, he's just having a field day.
There he is, 25 and 6.
That's close.
That's a lot of kills, especially the fact that he's only died 6 times because he, again, as we saw in the first half, is on the forefront of a lot of these plays, putting himself out there first on the wide swings with these snipers and being able to come away with the frags. Let's see what they have here for round 14. It's going to be Sheriffs across the board. No, just 3 Sheriffs, but they're going with the big irons on the side of F4Q.
See how they play things out. Now they're trying to work elbow a little bit. Great flash from Sick early on to grab info across the middle of the map. That allows Shazam to swing out. And now he's actually taking some of that presence. Tens, how? How? And now Shazam's there, right? Like we talked about it, Bunny's going to have to dash away to stay alive, but middle of the map is no longer safe. Shazam was able to take that space away. He's just got to be careful, though, because there's still players hanging out in elbow.
Yeah. No, where they're not. They're just waiting for a peek from the top side. It seems like they were timid, and they wanted to double up who would be in that sniper area in the nest. And it looks like they get dropped one by one. The Sheriff's still, or sorry, Marshall's still up with a Sheriff. Could be a few headshots, but it looks like it may be the flawless round here for Sentinels if they just keep their range.
Last player standing.
Yep. Drops down to just Esperanza with that Marshall. The Marshall battle. Who lands the shots? Who else but Tens? A Prime Gaming flawless for Sentinels to get them to 10.
See where they move outside of this. F4Q making their way, one elbow, a little bit of a default. Again, Spike dropped for them at the beginning of these rounds so they can feel out what they are up against here against Sentinels. And Tens is a good answer to that. He went over, got healed, came back, knew he was going to be able to get another frag, gives the assist over there to Sky as well. He's like, I'm enjoying myself. They're in danger. 15, what a smile on his face is coming out as well. And it looks like F4Q is going to go hard towards the B. Execute. Here they go.
Yes, they are. Viper util there. Bunny. Dancing around Zoms. Oh, the flash, but Zoms swings. Zoms gets 2. F4Q just down to 3 members remaining. Make that 2 as Zumba drops as well. 5K's in a brutal spot. He's hanging out in elbow. The spike is down on B. 5K's nowhere near it. Look at Sentinels. They're all just rushing for him. They want to hunt him down. They want to take that weapon out of his hand. That's exactly what they do. Back-to-back Prime Gaming flawless rounds from Sentinels to get them to 11.
That's a difficult round for F4Q to swallow, especially how quick they went down with the intentions of getting in and finding a few of those first shots they had on split. It does not seem like that is still the case. They even said when they played their previous teams, we only saw a few looks for them. Here it seems like Sentinels is giving them a few more looks, playing aggressive, playing back, and switching up that style when Shazam feels it's necessary.
And so far, that has had F4Q on their back foot. Now we've got 2 Marshals again in the hands of 5K and Esperanza, but pistols the rest of the way as they try to find some room to work. Sick. Previously it was Shazam. This time it was Sick, but the result is the same. Bunny drops. Shazam gets one on Zumba as well.
And they're Sentinels in suffocation mode. 3 of them moved out mid to pick up more frags after that. Whether it's rifles in the hands of F4Q right now or an eco, Sentinels are trying to smother them. Esperanza coming up with one onto Shazam there. And another one. Beautiful shots by Esperanza. That's the second Marshall round in a row for him, and now we see why.
Dina having to deal with all sorts of utility. And if you get past the turret, if you get past the alarm bot, guess what's on the other side?
Esperanza.
It's Tens. But Esperanza, you're right. He's gotten 3 with this Marshall so far. And he should be able to get access onto the spike. Just B is wide open.
Does he go pick up an alt orb? And then... is it still there? Oh, and then he can ult. Okay. See if he has time. Oh, he's not going to go. He'll just get it off the bomb anyway, so he'll be fine with that if he does it right after the spike plant. He's going to do it secondary. Nice wall to get himself into safety. What a round for Esperanza. Orb is out. And he holds.
Poison's off.
It looks like they want to use that ult for further rounds, so it's all up to the aim he's had further for this round so far, and he's about to find out.
Tens and Dapper looking to take
Oh my God.
Esperanza gets 4. There, now the ult is online, but Dapper should have a good idea of where it's coming from. Dapper's going to go hunting. He drops the turret. Dapper on the tap. The Marshall just barely missing the no-scope headshot. My goodness.
That whizzed by his ear.
Yep. Yes, indeed. But Dapper's going to get the defuse. It took some heroics from Esperanza to get them to that point, but Sentinels get to 12, they get to map point, they get to series point against F4Q.
And what a round that would have been. Think of everything that went into that. That was the eco. Esperanza trying to funnel this Marshall in to make the shots count. He comes up with 4 and then snuffed out in the end. It just seems to be the way that Sentinels has had these rounds go in their favor. Ooh. Basically looked like it was under his armpit there. And he knew so close to being able to capture that round, but they still are on a bye here. Well, let's see what can happen. This second half has been 4 straight rounds for Sentinels.
Blade Storm online for Tens. He's got the op in his hand as well. Early flash. 6 getting pushed back. While Bunny swung out from double door. So they're able to establish control across mid-map. You've got Shazam up in the nest. He's going to get flash. He's going to get pushed back. Little touch and go, right? Back and forth while both teams fight for control of mid.
Double peek. Looks like they'll start to move out a little bit. Ten's just behind Dapper here, but it doesn't look like they're fully committing as they take down the alarm bot. So they know there's pressure being watched in the mid area.
You've got the spike who's now creeping its way over towards B. Zumba gets tagged up a little bit. 5K down as well. Just down to 98 health and no armor to work with. Got a good little crossfire. Bunny.
Sentinels rotating.
Yeah, Bunny should be the first one out. But Zoms, yeah. Shazam gets taken out. Sick trades it back out. As Tens is already able to get 2. Zumba has managed to get onto the site. Tens goes up top. Tens takes care of him. It's just down to Esperanza in the 1v2, and Tens cleans that up again. A 3K. The crown jewel of North America takes down another one.